those of us that have the passion, there are certain things that give us a charge. That moment when you make the right cast, get the strike, get the fish to hit it, that's the charge that gives us that passion. We want it over and over.
I was raised in this household where you worked hard and you went to work for the company and you worked your way up the company, but there was never a conversation in my background, in my growing up years, about owning your own business. That never crossed my mind until that day he walked in my office and said, "We can do this."
I got into bass fishing in high school, still lived on a farm. My dad sold the dairy farm and had beef cattle by this time, but the plan was for me to be a farmer. So he's going to get my herd started, I'm going to be a farmer. Well, I sold my heifers and bought a boat. I don't think he was overly happy about that, but he didn't disown me, so it all worked out in the end. And so I decided I'm going to be a pro fisherman. So I tried that for about 4 years and went broke, to be quite honest. I worked for 2 different boat companies for a period of about 20 years. I'd done about everything inside the business there was to do. Trish and I met in 2001, and she was the HR director at Stratus. And without each other, we wouldn't be where we're at today. There's no question about that.
It worked right away. I felt like I'd known him all my life. You know, when you meet someone like that and you've only known them for a very short amount of time. I remember Gary saying a lot along the way, you know, this is the only thing I have in my life is bass fishing. That's what I know. That's what I've spent all these years investing in. I don't have any backup plans. This is it. And I mean, for somebody to lay it on the line like that is impressive.
We had kind of seen the handwriting on the wall at the company we were at in 2006. I could see what was happening in the industry. Felt like we had an opportunity to do something special.
It was always like, do we want to do this together? You know, it wasn't like, I'm going to do this whether you go or not. It was a we. I felt very much like it was a we thing. You know, it never seemed that way. That I'm about to walk out the door, come or don't come. You know, it was like, I think we can do this.
We knew starting out we had a bullseye on our back that big around, and we had to do a lot of things right. We set out to build the very best boat we could, using all the best materials, perform as best it could, and sell it for the best pricing. It's just simple. I met Greg in 1982, and he's our boat designer today. He is the reason our boat does the things it does.
The way things are laid out, they're laid out for a fisherman. I think it just encompasses everything to do with the bass boat. And we were all motivated to do what needed to be done to make it what it is today. We took about 18 months, and they basically left me alone, let me do my thing. We ended up at the 721, so. When we first ran that boat, it surprised me a little bit. We spent a lot of time running it, but we got it right the first time.
I remember walking out the door one day at 5 o'clock or whatever time it was we were leaving, and I looked to my left and there was a boat on a truck and a boat behind it, which meant those 2 boats were going to a customer. After 18 months, that's a really satisfying feeling that, not that we had arrived, but man, that was one step in the journey, right? That was a milestone of seeing this dream come to life, so.
I guess it was probably intentional, but for whatever reason, we have surrounded ourselves with people that have a passion for bass fishing. Like for us to get Greg Hackney at the time, when he signed on with Phoenix, that was a big deal.
We were young, we were new, we weren't proven. And for him to call us and say, "Hey, I would love to run a Phoenix," I mean, it's pretty special. We were pretty excited about that moment.
And my business time is money. So the quicker you get there, the more time you have. And their first boat, their flagship boat, was my first Phoenix. I was blown away by the way it handled. The ride, the speed, all in all, and I'm not just saying this, it is the top performing bass boat on the market. I have an advantage over half of our field when I get there because of the product I'm using. The biggest thing is I feel like they have helped my success. If you pair yourself with successful people, it will help you be successful.
At Phoenix, we do everything here, which is important to us. From the design to the end process, we build the molds, we build the boat, we rig it, everything is done, and we control everything that way.
Today we're manufacturing 30 boats a week, and we're not keeping up with demand at that rate right now. We could build way more. We'd like to keep it as steady as we can from a manufacturing standpoint. We love to keep our team employed. We don't ever want to have spikes or drop-offs. We want to be really stable for the community and our employees. So that's where we're at now. I just think of the brand as a team of people. It is not about the leadership or the owners. It's just a team of people that are like-minded, that are here to build the best boat they can build.
I can remember when you saw a Phoenix 15 years ago and you thought, wow, that's that boat, I heard it's a good boat. Just this past year, there's like 38 Phoenixes, I counted, I think. And it's the most popular boat on the Bassmaster Elite Tournament Trail. And you just smile and say, yep, I knew they were doing it right 15 years ago. And this shows the whole country has caught on to what a great product and what a great family it is. And I can definitely say that the Phoenix family is the backbone, to me, of the whole big picture. And Gary and Teresa, they go to great lengths for that. I mean, they provide, do things, special things at Easter, at Christmas, at, all different times of the year to keep that a family group, and it means so much for the company as a whole, in my opinion.
We always talked about doing the right thing first and foremost. So whether it was in hiring or product design or customer service or marketing or sales. Next was we got to build a great product at a great price and stand behind it. And those are very simple gestures as well. I mean, that's not hard to follow. And it sounds easy and it's difficult to live, but if you keep on pursuing those objectives, it works out. It's about building a company, and now that we've got the foundation where we want it, there's just so much more opportunity to grow this company even bigger based on what that foundation, building that early on.
We constantly say this. We can never forget what got us where we're at. And I think that's easy for people to do in general and companies to do too. You kind of forget what got you where you're at. And if you do that, that's a slippery slope. So we want to grow the company. We want to get in other markets and do some different things, and we probably will. But we want to do it at the right speed and build us the best product possible. There's been times in everybody's life, I think, where somebody believed in you, took a chance on you. If somebody believes in you, it's powerful. When I said to Teresa one day, let's start a boat company, she said, let's do it. She believed in me. And she believed in me enough to risk it all. And then other people started believing. Now, I mean, it's amazing. We've had people come into our office and say, what's your secret sauce? They think there's something magically about what we do. There's not. We have a passion and we believe. And those two words are probably the keys to our success. A passion for bass fishing.